All right, so we don't have an intro or anything. Yeah, I just heard something in the background.
Honestly, it's probably the road. I try to close my windows every time, but it does not do wonders.
No, that's cool. It's all good. All right, so we're just finishing getting set up, everybody. This is our very first video podcast, which is kind of interesting, exciting, and dare I say, daunting at the same time.
Dare you say it?
Is that the game where you hunt those monsters?
No, that's Dauntless, a game that I don't play anymore, and I feel bad because I used to really enjoy that game, and then Monster Hunter World came out, and I was like, "Oh well, great game." I mean, those guys are really cool. I've met them a couple times at PAX East. They're really cool guys over at Phoenix Labs, but Monster Hunter World has my 110% attention.
I mean, it's a good game, so
yeah. You know, except I can't play that new expansion, Iceborne, because, you know, PC and all that cool stuff.
Yeah, anyways, for games. Imagine that.
Oh, jeez.
Exclusivity? Nah.
All right. So we popped up over there. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Spectator Mode's first video podcast. Is it really a podcast anymore? Is that a podcast?
It's a supercast.
Whatever you want to call it. Videocast, supercast, whatever. So let me introduce myself. I am Keith Mitchell. To the right of me is Diego.
Hi.
And at the bottom is Rob. What's up, folks?
Hey.
This is pretty cool. So if you never listened to any of our podcasts, what we typically do is we start out with our introductions, which we just did, and then we jump into the games that we've been playing. But a nice added bonus now that you can see everybody's room and pick apart the stuff that they do.
Yeah, I mean, pick apart all of my decorations because I'm moving soon, so I don't have any up.
Where are you moving to? That's right. Where are you going to?
I'm moving to a town across from me, so not very far, but my lease is ending soon, so I have to dip to another place. So
those are never fun. I don't miss that. I don't miss that whatsoever.
Yeah, it's not the worst. I mean, I don't have to rent a truck, so it could be worse.
This Elgato key light is very nice. I will say, if you guys are thinking about investing in one of those, do it.
Yeah, I need lighting for like my own stream and everything.
I was looking to actually get one of those, but I just don't.
They are super.
For it. Yeah.
They are expensive, but they are really great. And let's see if anybody's here. For those that are here, you can ask any question that you want. We will answer them when we get to them. But yeah, please ask any questions that you have. All right, folks. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So games we've been playing this week. I'm gonna go first this time because I've only been playing one damn game, and that obviously is Destiny 2.
Every week.
I'm grinding. I'm grinding. You know, I cannot stop. I've been grinding through it, getting all the weapons, the pinnacle weapons. I finally got the Recluse, as my show was called the other day. Working on Randy's throwing knife because I really want that scout rifle. I've got all the Halloween stuff so far, so the new auto rifle. So yeah, Destiny 2 is pretty much my thing. I'm trying to get people to take me and run me through the new raid and the new dungeon because I really want to give those a try.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot. I keep like trying to get a couple friends of mine to raid with me too, but it always just ends up like, oh, I gotta do this, and then we never actually get to it. I want to badly. I see people running around with like Leviathan gear and stuff, and I'm like, oh, looks really good. I want to get that, but I've been doing fine with like strikes and stuff.
Yeah, the strikes get boring after a while though. After you run them all so many times.
Yeah,
dude. I fell off of Destiny 2. I haven't touched it since like Shadowkeep launched. So
it's so good though.
I'll hop back in. I know Festival of Lost is going on right now, so I might hop in and do some of that candy stuff.
That's a grind. That's a grind and a half. It's so much.
It's a grind every year. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I want to get that new auto rifle though. I'm working towards that.
Yeah, and the cool thing about the auto rifle is once you get it and you don't get the rolls that you want, you can go ahead and get more free. Well, not free, but with candy instead of using the coin. So that's really nice. So definitely do that. I'm gonna put my camera down a little lower. There we go. There we go. I dropped my seat down. It didn't feel right. It felt unnatural. All right. Who wants to go next? Diego, Rob. Let's go.
Rob, you can take it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've been playing Destiny 2 also. And, you know, same deal, just kind of running stuff. I did start some of the Halloween content, which is pretty cool, like getting some of the masks. I want to get the the what's his name, the Drifter mask, because that looks hilarious compared to everything else, which is just like, oh, it looks perfect. I want to get that one because it just looks funny. Been doing that a little bit. Playing a lot of Modern Warfare 2, or Modern Warfare also. Doing just mostly like multiplayer stuff. I mean, the rest of it I'm kind of all set with. Finished the campaign. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And yeah, I've been doing that. And then I got invited to a certain Halo Reach PC beta that I enjoyed a lot.
Right now.
So
hate you so much.
So I will say that for my impressions and stuff because we have a segment for it. But I enjoyed it. It was good.
All right, Diego. What about you, sir?
Oh man, I haven't played as much as I would like to this week, but there are 2.5 games. I say half because I talked about Modern Warfare a lot last week, but I played a lot more of Modern Warfare this week. So we'll do that little half impression here. I hit level cap in multiplayer. Man, the maps. I have no strong feelings either way. They're just kind of meh to me, except for like Euphrates Bridge is the worst map I've ever played in a Call of Duty game. Yeah. People hate on Piccadilly a lot. I actually kind of like Piccadilly unless I'm getting spawn trapped because the spawn trap is so easy to run on Piccadilly because the flags on like domination are like C and B are like 5 feet from each other, and then A is all the way in the corner. So if you spawn on A side, like you just kind of lose. I played Spec Ops finally. What a dumpster fire of a mode! Yep. What an absolute just worthless game mode.
I read Rod's review and he was like, "Spec Ops is garbage," and I was like, "No, I can't be. Really, is it garbage?" And then
it's that bad.
So like terrible.
It's 4-player co-op. You have these like semi-little open world areas where you go tackle a bunch of objectives, but all the objectives boil down to go here and kill this guy, and it's just repeated over and over, or go here and stand next to this thing while this timer counts down. But it's super hard, and you have to play it with 4 people. So most of the time, unless you have a full squad, it's with randoms, which is never a fun thing because it's especially in a mode where you have to be as coordinated as this because it's really difficult. Like there's like one in the first mission. There's a moment later on where they call in a bunch of tanks, and it's like go take out all 4 of them. And you don't have any, you have to go like find a rocket launcher and find anti-tank stuff. And it's, if you wipe, you have to start from the very beginning. There are like no checkpoints. And like the mode also doesn't work at all. You have like specialist abilities because it's like class based almost. And like I picked the class that has like a recon drone so I can like scout out buildings, and it was ready. And it's like press L1 and R1 to use your recon drone. And I pressed it and nothing happened. And I kept pressing the buttons, and the whole game I just could not use the recon drone.
Boy.
And like you run out of ammo, so you have to like loot ammo boxes and stuff and like other pickups like turrets and deployable shields, but like those never deploy whenever I want them to. It's just completely, I've fallen through the map a few times. It's super buggy, and like the whole game mode is not even worth playing through the bugs. It's super uninspired. The maps are like way too big. It honestly feels like scrapped battle royale maps.
So basically what you're saying is all the fuss we made about not getting the complete Spec Ops is unwarranted.
Oh no, because survival is the best part of Spec Ops.
Oh, okay.
Because survival, it's. I'm not saying it's good, but like it takes a multiplayer map. You get some friends on there, and AI spawns. That's it. It's better than regular Spec Ops just because it functions, you know. But even then, there's operations, which are the big missions I was talking about. Survival, which is only on PlayStation. But then there's classic Spec Ops, which I was under the impression because they said before launch this is going to be like Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops, where it's like missions, you get a 3-star rating. Beat the Infinity Ward time. No, there's only one classic Spec Ops mission right now. It's called Safeguard, and it's essentially just survival, and it's on all the platforms. You essentially just defend a point and survive an onslaught of enemies, but it ends after a certain amount of time. That's the only difference. Survival goes on indefinitely. Onslaught has like 5 rounds, but that's bugged too. You have to extract on a chopper at the end, and I can't even get out most of the time. It just bugs, and I can't get on the chopper and leave. It just doesn't function. It's bad.
I'm glad somebody else had to experience it because playing through it, I literally was just like, there's nothing fun about it. All of the fun things about Modern Warfare are not like even available to you in Spec Ops. You literally just like, you know, like you can't even mount on cover without getting destroyed within like 3 seconds.
That's a shame.
And the worst part is that first mission, it's literally just like, okay, go to this server. Okay, you got it. Next one. Oh, just kidding. 4 tanks. 3 juggernauts all at the same time.
Oh, and they're so spongy too. The juggernauts take like 4 clips from each member to go down.
Forever. You could probably go through a full clip of a PKM and they still wouldn't die.
Yeah, and then you run out of ammo and you have to go find more ammo across the map. It's so so bad.
Has anybody complained about them being such bullets?
Oh, everyone hates Spec Ops.
There's a whole thread on Reddit just about that. Yep.
And like even if you had a pre-made 4-man group and you go through like I'm gonna run suppressors, we're gonna stealth clear all these buildings. It doesn't work because like it's missing the level design that the campaign has, and enemies just kind of spawn behind you all the time, and like the stealth mechanics aren't really very fleshed out. So like, just don't play Spec Ops.
So how is this game doing so well? If this
nobody cares about it because the campaign's so good and the multiplayer is pretty good.
All right, well that makes
pretty
sense.
much, yeah.
A lot of people just kind of they choke it up to like, oh, maybe I'm just bad and Spec Ops is hard. No, the mode's bad. It's not the players. It's such a poorly thought out.
It really is. It really is
garbage.
I have to give it a try. I have
so
not played
underwhelming. It. Oh man, I just want the classic missions back.
Give it a try, but don't give it a try for more than an hour or two.
Yeah, play the other modes.
Truthfully, do not put too much time into it.
Well, I didn't buy it. I got it with my my RTX 2080. So I want to play the single player campaign. That's all I really want to play.
That's worth it.
I have no time for any other online first person shooter because Destiny has all my attention.
I love the multiplayer too, but like some people have a lot of problems with the map design and like the slow pace and the camping issues, which I think are definitely problems, but I think a lot of people are blowing them out of the water and blowing them out of proportion.
Yeah, I think it was good that they kind of moved away from the typical like, here's a Call of Duty map, there's 3 lanes and that's it. Like you just run down that and there's buildings on the side sometimes. Like I actually like they kind of made it a little bit different, but
there's like 10 windows that are open on every map and you have to like cover so many angles, but I think once you learn the maps it's not as bad.
Euphrates Bridge is only the only bad
awful map, trash map, take it out, delete it.
If you do not spawn as the Marines, you lose. That's it. If you get Russian spawn, you can't win.
even if you're on the side with the advantage, it's just boring. It's just not fun.
Yeah, because you're just holding B and then it's like a firing range.
So how is this any fun? How is this enjoyable?
Oh, the other maps.
Well, the rest of the maps are great.
Yeah, the rest of the game's fun. It's just that one specific map and that one specific Spec Ops mode that I hate.
Yeah.
With a passion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's so bad.
Yeah, but we talked a lot about Modern Warfare.
Multiplayer is I won't get to it.
It's good. Go read Rob's review. It's very good on the Outerhaven.net for all you listening right now.
Thanks for the plug.
You said very good. Oh man, Rob.
But I played another shooter this week. It came out on Halloween actually, but it's not a scary game at all. Battlefield 5: War in the Pacific finally is here. It launched on Halloween.
I thought you gave up on Battlefield.
Well, I stopped playing because I hit level cap and I put so many hours into it, and the drip feed, the content is delivered at such a slow rate. It's honestly, there's not enough, but they dropped it honestly feels like a relaunch of Battlefield 5. I updated on my PS4 and they changed the dashboard icon, and that's how you know they're not messing around. When the artwork changes, that's a big update.
Hey, thank you for that follow. We appreciate that.
So there's not a lot that they added, but like the whole vibe of the game has changed. Like the main menu is different, like everything. They're really pushing War in the Pacific. There are only 2 maps now, with the 3rd one coming next month. But they're really good. I like them a lot. They added.
I thought they gave up on that game so much.
No, it honestly feels like this is the full launch of Battlefield 5. Like you have the Americans and the Japanese in there now. You have Pacific Storm, which feels like Parasol Storm for Battlefield 4, which I really like. And then I'm forgetting the name of the other map, but Wake Island, which is a really, really popular Battlefield map, is coming back next month for free.
Ooh.
So that's really cool. I really enjoy the new maps. I think they're some of the best maps Battlefield 5 has to offer. But like you have all the weapons you would expect from a World War II game, like the M1, you have the Thompson, the 1911, like all those weapons that weren't really there at launch, they're back. They added a katana, but it's like you can't equip any of your loadout. It's like, but remember Battlefield 1 had like those map pickups where you could like pick up the armor with like the minigun and things like that.
Yeah.
The katana spawns. That's the Japanese pickup weapon, but anybody can pick it up if you have control of that flag, and you get a super speed boost, and it's really fun to use. And then for the American side of things, they added a flamethrower, which that thing is scary if you're on the opposite end of that flamethrower. Because I didn't know they added it, so I was just kind of like prone trying to hold a flag, and some dude goes over the hill with a flamethrower, and I start freaking out. It's those Battlefield moments that like the other games had that 5 was sorely missing. They're back.
All right, well.
So yeah, that's really fun. I'm gonna play it more, and I saw a lot of new players, which was surprising. Like I saw a lot of sub-level 20 players.
So the game's not dead yet. It's still.
I don't think it was ever dead, but like this is a breath of fresh air. Yeah. It just sucks that they have to compete with Modern Warfare now. Because like if this would have dropped back when Black Ops 4 was falling off and people were like, okay, a lot of loot boxes in this game. I don't know how I feel about Blackout anymore. It would have been perfect, you know? I just don't know why it took so long to get 3 maps and 2 new factions in Battlefield 5. So I don't know.
And the weird thing about me is that like I remember hearing about this, like maybe a few articles came out saying that the expansion was ready and people could jump into it, but like there was no like major marketing push or anything like that, or like I didn't hear much buzz about it. I really just kind of read one article and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's because it's been out for so long and people kind of tune out Battlefield news.
Yeah,
but I also played just now. I was playing it all day. Luigi's Mansion 3, which I know
just picked that up today.
We have a Nintendo podcast, but I play Nintendo games too. All right, so we're gonna talk about that now. I'm like 2 hours in. This is my first Luigi's Mansion game. I'm really surprised with how much I'm liking it. I didn't think I would like it so much. It comes across as probably one of Nintendo's most polished titles. And they didn't develop this first party, did they? Or is this like a second party title? Do you know
no,
who developed it? Was an in-house team?
Yeah.
Okay, well, whoever developed it, man, this is like, it's a Nintendo title, so graphics aren't like at the forefront, but like, man, the way everything's animated and like the way the physics objects interact with each other, it's dripping with charm. Like it's a charming game. Like he has so much more personality than Mario, I think, but like he expresses it differently. But like, man, using that poltergeist vacuum, like everything moves in the environment. Nothing is like static. There's coins and everything, which I think is really cool. Most of my playtime has just been like vacuuming things that are not ghosts, just to like try to get more coins. Also, something that's weird is like there's not just coins. Like there's also gold bars, which I guess kind of fits in the theme. But there's also like just straight up dollars. So like I don't know. I've never seen that in a Mario game before. They're just like United States dollars. I don't know if those are canon to the Mario universe, but it's really weird seeing those among like the cartoon gold coins and stuff.
So what did you think about the gameplay though?
Yeah,
I haven't opened it yet. I literally just came back from Best Buy picking it up.
It's not like super deep yet, but like it's mainly just you use your flashlight to stun the ghost, and then you like pull away from them and suck them in, and then you slam them for damage. But like there is definitely a skill ceiling, I think. I tried something like I was in an arena with 3 ghosts, right? So like whenever you come across some ghosts, like they'll spawn like ghostly gates and like lock you in an arena with them until you defeat them.
Okay.
So like before I discovered the strat, I was just kind of like vacuuming the ghosts one at a time. You can get 2 on your vacuum at once if like you kind of stun them together, which I tried doing that more and more often. But also whenever you slam them, whenever they're stunned, if you slam them into another ghost, it damages that ghost as well, and it'll stun them. So you can like chain them together. It's really, really cool. But it's still not like a hard game. It's really just like you're exploring this hotel, and like there's a lot of stuff to see. Like it's not just, you would think it's just a bunch of hotel rooms. There's not really any variety, but like there's some cool moments, I think. Like I peered through like a hole in a wall, and I saw a ghost like brushing his teeth in a bathroom, and it was like a whole animation for it. It was really cool. I looked through like a telescope on like a deck, and I was like, I bet something's gonna pop out at me. And of course, jump scare. Luigi's Mansion 3 jump scare, so it's not like super scary. It's a cartoon ghost.
Yeah,
it kind of got me.
Scary.
And then a cool little fight with that. There are like a lot of collectibles. Like you can get like these gemstones, and I think there's like 6 on every floor, but they're really well hidden. I think that's really cool. But man, like the presentation and the charm, like all the menus are Virtual Boy themed, because like the device you use is called the Virtual Boo. Like it's a Nintendo title through and through. Like the charm is there. It's really fun. Luigi talks, but it's like how Mario talks. He says like one word amongst a bunch of gibberish.
I saw the clip of like the night.
Yeah, he says night. Oh,
that's
man,
great.
It's adorable. I love this game so much, and I can't wait to go play more. I was playing it before we started recording. I had to pull myself away from it, but
I couldn't play it. My son, so I took my son's Switch away from him because he's not behaving. So I dropped them off at his grandmother's house. He took my Joy-Cons off my Switch because we had the same color. So I'm like, wait, why can't I play this game? My Joy-Cons are dead. So
there's co-op too. You can play pretty much the whole game in co-op once you unlock Gooigi, which I just recently encountered.
I'm sorry. Who?
Gooigi.
Boy,
are you not familiar with Gooigi? Like seriously?
No, not at all.
Oh man, yeah. This is like the big thing. It's pretty much a clone of Luigi made out of goo, and they need a big showing E3. Everybody loves Gooigi. I'm surprised you haven't heard of him until now. Yeah, you can play. It's essentially just Luigi but goo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen him.
He's on the box art too. Yeah, and you can play the whole game with a friend.
I didn't know who he was. Okay.
Yeah, and there's another mode called Scream Park, which I don't have any experience with it.
Scream Park.
Yeah, it's like a minigame compilation pretty much. But there's also some traditional gameplay in there, like Luigi's Mansion ghost stuff. It's 8 players on one console, which I think is really cool. You can get 8 Joy-Cons in there, and there's also online. So,
all right, well,
but I haven't touched that yet.
Something to look forward to when I open it and maybe play with the kids. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, good Switch game.
All right. So we talked about Project xCloud for a while now, and I finally got access to the public trials. And I've been playing it for the last couple of days. I ordered a clip for my Xbox One controller, and I gotta say, my impressions are all over the place. So I played Killer Instinct, and I played Halo 5. Halo 5. I'm sorry, back up. And I've also played it on my what's what I'm looking for? My mobile data. I didn't want to use Wi-Fi because I wanted to have a different experience. Like if I was out the house or chilling at the mall or bookstore or something. So I wanted to try that. And I found that Halo 5 is just not playable. It's so hard to aim.
Oh, no. Were you playing with touch controls or using a controller?
I was using a controller. It would. I mean, the auto aim was fine because it snapped back and forth. But when I'm trying to actually aim with my controller, it was not playable. It was terrible. It was not fun at all. I don't know if it was just my experience or whatnot. I haven't talked to anybody else who's played it as of yet. But when I played Killer Instinct, it was the complete opposite. It was very responsive. My moves came out. I was doing my combos. I was doing combo breakers. It was great. No issues there. So I'm not sure what was up with that.
Do you think there are like different servers for each game or something?
I don't think there are different servers for each game, but there are definitely different data centers.
Well, because it's a fighting game. You know, a fighting game is like the I would expect that to be like the worst performing game on
right. You would think, right? But no, it was great. It was very responsive. I had no issues, which I thought was odd because I'm playing Halo 5 and I'm having problems. When I went back to play Killer Instinct, I was having issues. Or I wasn't having issues.
Did you play back to back or like different days? Do you think you just
back to back? In fact,
and they were both on mobile.
Yeah, I was out. In fact, on Halloween when I was giving out candy, I was sitting there playing it.
Huh.
And I couldn't play Halo 5 for anything. It just had issues left and right. Went back to Killer Instinct, I was fine. I was playing it outside. I walked back into the house and I turned off my Wi-Fi to make sure it was just mobile data, and it was great. No issues whatsoever with Killer Instinct. I don't know what was up. I'm not a fan of Sea of Thieves, so I didn't play that. So I really wish
that's weird because you would expect like if it's like the same, you're just switching games back to back. You would think they would perform about the same, but man, Killer Instinct of all games performing well just really surprises me.
I'm trying to hang on a second.
Fighting games on like I know Stadia is pushing Mortal Kombat really hard, and you got to pay for that. I don't know if I'm going to buy Mortal Kombat.
Oh, there was a conversation about Stadia the other day, or a video from Tested.com, and I don't know. They seem
we're 2 weeks away. We are 2 weeks away from getting our cool Chromecast to play Destiny.
I think I want to cancel mine. So like cancel this.
Oh no!
Speaking of, if anybody who's thinking about getting into Project xCloud or has gotten into it and looking for a clip, this little clip I got on Amazon for like $9. It's really cool. It clips right on the controller. I'll show you.
Remember whenever like second screen mobile stuff was like a big deal, and they're like, you can clip your phone or your controller and get a mini map.
Clips right on.
I wonder if like we're gonna see a resurgence of like everybody like top 10 phone clips to get for your controller to play PlayStation Now or xCloud or Stadia.
Those popped up again for Project Cloud. Cloud. I've seen a bunch of them.
Yeah, I think Stadia especially is going to be because that's like the whole thing.
Yo, on that video from Tested.com, they had this really huge clip on that you can put it on the controller. It's really nice. It looks like something that's on Indiegogo for the Switch. It looks really nice. So I might look into get one of those things. But as for Stadia itself, I don't know.
Also, how are you launching this without iOS and Android support? Like, it makes no sense to me. Only Pixel phone.
Yeah.
You got to be wired.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Go listen to our older episode. Like, what was it, 2 weeks back now?
Even PlayStation Now, you can play it on I'm not going to
get it. But, man. Streaming video games. Can you believe?
What we're doing is like I said, my phone is jacked up because I dropped it. So I got to get it replaced. But I'm going to.
Are we going to get a live demo?
I don't think you're going to get a live demo. Because I can't play the game like that's not going to work.
You could put up a mirror. I think it'd be fine.
If I had another camera, then actually I do. Maybe next time. Maybe I'll actually do a live stream with this. That's a good idea. I'll do it next time.
Get some gameplay up. Capture it for the YouTube channel or something.
With my busted screen because I dropped it, and it's like $280 to fix a Note 9 screen. Shit's expensive. All right. Speaking of impressions, Rob. Halo Reach.
Right. Yeah.
Come on, make me sad.
Okay. Yeah, so I got an invite to the Reach's like third beta, their third flight that they did. This one's the biggest one, so it had 2 campaign missions on there, but realistically it was just the first mission as well as the first cutscene that you see. So it wasn't really 2 campaign missions, but yes, they did include 2 campaign missions. It came with the firefight mode that they did a flight for previously. And then they also included a few multiplayer modes that you could do. So I played a little bit of that. I tried each and every one. Far as I can tell, I mean, it honestly, it feels just like Reach felt, but if you were playing it on the PC, it's not like, and I mean that in two ways. So like, it's not necessarily like an enhanced experience, but it doesn't feel like it's worse in any way. There's a few nitpicky things that I found, like crouching you can't do while sprinting or moving forward. You have to literally let go and then dedicate pressing the crouch button before you can move again.
I think somebody said that's actually a bug.
That's what I figured. But it was just like a few like nitpicky stuff. But overall, it literally just felt like if I were playing Reach again, but on the PC. The support in terms of graphics is much to be desired. Granted, that's probably something that they're putting in the full release. But in terms of what you can change, there's really not much. You can set your resolution, whether it's full screen or not, and then you can go to the graphics settings, and it's literally just original or enhanced.
Were you playing with a controller or the keyboard and mouse?
I tried keyboard and mouse because I had never played really like traditional Halo on keyboard and mouse. Like I played like the first one on keyboard and mouse because it actually came out, and then some of like the El Dorito mods that came out, I tried in keyboard and mouse. So I played it keyboard and mouse, and it was pretty good. I mean, getting set up is pretty simple. It's not too crazy with like key bindings and stuff. So like. They could probably add like, because it's only like one option. You can't set more than one button to do a certain thing. Like some new games now, they have like 2 separate columns that you can set key bindings to. So in this way, you can literally just like select whatever you want and then put it there, and it's just fine. That's enough for you to at least play the video game. So nothing too crazy there.
Did it perform well at all? Like, were there any stutters, hitches, frame drops? I mean, it's a 360 game, so I can't imagine it's too intensive. But.
Honestly, no, not really. Graphical hitches, other than the way it looks, just in general. Obviously, it's a 2010 game that's now running, in 2019. So there is some stuff like it's been up-resed clearly. A lot of the textures are just the same because it's not a remaster or anything like that. So it's like, if you just took a game and up-resed it a bit, and that's kind of what it looks like. Some textures are a little muddy, but that's just because that's what it was like in the first release. In terms of that, I mean, I ran it at 60 just fine. No real graphical hitches other than just, what it looks like. It functioned pretty well. Other than, that crouching thing, everything moves pretty well. You could set your mouse acceleration if you want to. Changing the sensitivity was just fine. But I mean, gameplay wise, it just felt like as if I was just playing Reach again on the 360.
So, like, wasn't
playing on my PC.
Reach supposed to like be officially launched around this time? Or
it's still it's late. Yeah, it was
because they were like fall 2019 Reach, and it's the first game in the MCC. We're gonna slowly roll them out. Once Reach hits, it's gonna go faster. But I could have sworn they said Reach would be out by now. Like they said early fall.
They did.
Like that.
They did, but I think I think in one of the updates they said they were running the issue, so they were delaying it a little longer. They want to make sure that it was done right, which I respect. I'd rather them delay.
I mean, take as long as you need, but like, I don't know.
Especially with Halo, don't screw this up. Don't screw it up.
The rumors and stuff is basically looking towards like end of November for Reach specifically.
Oh, that's soon. I thought if they were still doing flights, we'd be a little way off. Well, this is a pretty fully featured flight, though, right?
Yeah. So they've got like the campaign. They got a few firefight.
Because I was looking at it's not like 24/7, right? It's just certain. Because I got an invite too. I mean, I haven't even installed it. I'm just mentioning that to spite.
Why is everybody got invites with me? Well, I'm playing. I'm just gonna play my project.
Yeah, just get the 360. Boot up Reach.
The flight's going till the 5th. So.
Is it enhanced on Xbox One X at all? Do we know that off the top of our heads? I think it is. I think it's for One X.
Is it out on Xbox?
It's backwards compatible. Yeah.
I remember they put out an enhanced version just for the whole collection. I don't know if it was.
Did they add it to the MCC yet on console? Because I know they're going to add it in, and like if you have Game Pass, you get it. Which I mean, so most of us are set. But like,
yeah, no, I'm not sure. I heard stuff about there was going to be like an expansion for it where you could just have the enhancement.
I have not been following it actually because I thought my son was actually playing Reach the other day. Maybe
it's backwards compatible on Xbox One, but they're gonna like include it in the Master Chief Collection. It's gonna be like a DLC purchase.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they've done that yet. That's the thing. Or if it's like enhanced at all on Xbox One X.
Well, we can always look it up while Rob continues to tease me.
Yeah.
Damn it! I really want to play that. If that's not apparent.
Yeah. So I put pretty much most of my time into just the straight up multiplayer. So they had like a few modes. They had 2v2s, which included like just typical Slayer, and then they had like an oddball mode. They had 4v4s for some of the bigger ones, and then they did 6v6 for like Slayer and capture the flag and stuff. And then they also had the invasion mode, which was like exclusive to Reach when it initially released. They had one map, which was I believe it's called Breakpoint. But it was just they had one map only for invasion.
Conjuring up nightmares there.
Luckily, it was not as bad as that game. It was. I mean, it just functioned pretty well. There's a few nitpicky things. Like the thing is just like ping shows is just like bars. It doesn't give you like the specific like ping ratio, which people were like arguing about and stuff. But other than
really
that,
a big deal? Is that a big deal?
Not really. I mean, people were just like,
it's 2019. Show the number, you know?
Yeah, people were just like, why is it a thing? I'm pretty sure the 360 release didn't have it, so maybe that's why. But not a big deal. Other than that, it operated just fine. Felt just like Halo Reach did. No real issues. It was a ton of fun. I mean, granted, it was only one map, so it was kind of a very limited experience. But, playing as the Spartans and the Elites was a lot of fun. And, armor abilities are all great. Like, no issues there. It just feels as authentic as it did when I played it on the 360. No graphical issues, nothing like that. It was all pretty much the same.
Man, I'm so excited for
enjoyed it a lot.
Custom games.
I cannot wait to play this. Because I'm sorry, I'm the graphics whore here. I cannot wait to play this thing at 4K as high as it can go. I'm gonna go, hey, look, Halo Reach on the PC. Thank you.
I will say it looks sharp because it doesn't have like the grain that kind of was over it in 360. You can kind of see specifically, everything's up res and it looks great. Granted, some of the textures and stuff are just from the original game, but it all looks great. It runs great. I didn't really run into any issues, no crashes. Everything functions just fine, at least for the most part. There are some like menu things that I'd have to back out and come back to, but that's like beta stuff that'll get ironed out before then. Yeah. So other than that, gameplay felt just as authentic as it used to be. Good. So
I'm glad because we're so close to release. I would hope it would be positive impressions. If you were like, I don't know, then that would be worrying. But
yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, it feels very solid. So I can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait to get back. Oh.
All right. Speaking of Halo Reach impressions, which has got me sad but also happy, we also got some great news over the last couple of days. When did they announce this? For EA Games now making their way back.
It was
a
while. I reported on it when it was like just a rumor, but now here we are, official confirmation that EA Games, not all of them for right now, but certain ones. All of them eventually, though, right?
Yeah, eventually.
Starting with Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah,
the worst named Star Wars game of all time.
Which is interesting because Need for Speed Heat comes out this.
It comes out Tuesday for like early access.
Tuesday for early access.
Origin Access Premiere.
Yeah, which I'm going to be playing, so I can't wait for that. But yeah, it's not the first one to come to Steam. It'll be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Empire Strikes Back, Jedi Returns. And the game is also available on Steam right now to pre-order. And Battlefield 5 is coming. And
Battlefield, Apex, Sims, everything is getting rolled out.
And FIFA. And interesting bit because we were under the assumption that you'll still need Origin, and some games apparently won't. Because, for example, one of the developers came to Reddit and said Apex Legends will not require Origin at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would imagine of all the games, that would be the one to require it.
Yeah. You're saying
like you play games on Steam. That's how that works. You need to have Uplay installed, like to play Rainbow Six.
Yeah, and that's what everybody's saying. And it does say for Star Wars, I'm not going to say the whole name. If you go down to the requirements, it does say you need to have an Origin account. Yeah. So that's interesting. I wonder if other games are not going to require Origin, which would make more sense. Games also will be crossplay on EA and EA Origins and Steam, which is also great news. I'm glad that they're coming back because last time we had EA game on Steam was like back in
2010, 2011,
2013. It was a Sims 3 expansion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Sims 3 expansion. Man, remember Sims 3? How deep are we in Sims 4 right now? Like
another one just came out. Another expansion for Sims 4 just came out.
Also, The Sims is a scam. Let me tell you that. I tried this. I bought it on PS4 a while ago, and man, it's not just DLC with The Sims. They have expansions. They have packs. They have stuff packs, packs. Like they're all named like really.
But they do so well. Those games do great.
Yeah, people but man, them. They are so expensive. Why? Just please. I have Origin Access Premiere. So but I have Origin Access Premiere. I don't get everything. I get like I get like pets, like the big expansions, But like if I want like some of the stuff packs, I still have to pay for them. Like what?
The filthy casuals love those games.
They sure do.
They love them.
We should also probably mention Origin Access and EA Access are coming to Steam as well, not just the games. It'll be Steam first subscription service.
They haven't said exactly what that's going to be though.
It'll be the same as Origin, I'm presuming. If all the games are going to come over eventually, it'll be whatever. Well,
somebody was saying there was again rumors that it's going to have its own version of Origin Access, and I emailed EA to get confirmation.
In the press release, they said it's just Origin Access on Steam.
So that'll be interesting.
The whole service,
same price point. This will be the first time that there's actually a paid service
on Steam.
On Steam,
it's the first one. They made a big deal about it. Like this is Steam's only subscription service. And I think now that it's on a separate launcher, it's kind of a good deal if you play those games. Like if you want Battlefield, I think you get Apex coins or whatever their premium currency is. If you want like EA's games, and they have a surprising amount of third parties on there, like a Plague Tale Innocence is on there.
Yeah, they do.
Like there are games on there that are not just like
A Way Out's on there. Yeah,
well, that's an EA game. So
is it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of third ones on there.
But like there's third party stuff on there that they didn't necessarily make. That's like a lot of indie games are on there. It's a good deal. It's like $5 a month on PC, something like that.
It's $5 if you do EA Access.
Basic. It's basic, right? But Premiere is like more. But Premiere, you get like the full game for everything.
Yeah,
like,
you get the full game.
Heat early Ultimate Edition. Mm-hmm. Same with Star Wars. You get the Deluxe Edition. I think it's worth it if you're going to buy more than one EA game a year.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah. Especially now that it's not just going to be on Origin. Like you can play on Steam. That's a huge, huge deal.
Now, EA Origin Access won't come to Steam until spring of 2020.
But most of the games won't anyway either, right?
Yeah.
They said like they're going to do launch with Star Wars. They're going to work on getting like Sims, Battlefield, Apex by early FIFA. 2020. Yeah, they're big name, big ticket games by early 2020, and then slowly roll out the rest. But I wonder if they're even going to buy, because they have a lot of games on Origin, like those really old Star Wars games, like a bunch of like games that I don't know if they're going to be really high on the port list.
I would imagine it's going to be everything that's in the vault, because they said the vault's coming over. So whatever's in the vault's
everything in the vault. Pretty much all their games are in the vault, but still, like I don't know if they're all going to roll over at once. Because I imagine there's definitely a priority list when it comes to some of these games. And
I'm just going through the vault right now. There is a lot.
There are a lot of games on there, right? There's so many. It's crazy. Like when I first subbed, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna get? Like FIFA, Battlefield. There are a lot of games on there that I wanted to play that are not necessarily like you wouldn't think they're on Origin at all.
Limbo's in there. I've never played that. Fee's in there. I've never played that. This is great. Because I signed up for Premiere because I wanted to try Need for Speed Heat.
It's a better deal than Uplay Plus for sure.
Oh hell! Oh, do you want to talk about Uplay Plus? No, let's not do that.
Uplay Plus.
Oh wow, yeah. I read something a couple days ago that somebody is constantly getting charged and can't cancel a subscription.
Yeah, I talked about when it launched. I talked about it with Breakpoint, and I don't remember my impressions were. I don't know how that bad they were, but I know they were negative. They were horrible impressions. The premier game on that service is Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That should speak volumes.
That's the best Ghost Recon game ever.
Honestly, best game of the year. Death Stranding, who?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm still going through this vault. Holy crap. And
There's so many games.
If anything, this gives people a reason, if they've never played it, to go play Titanfall 2.
I was going to ask you about that. Do you think the multiplayer numbers are going to like surge for that game?
Yes.
Because we don't have to use Origin. Do you think it's going to... Because you can go play it on Origin right now, and there's a few thousand players.
Yeah.
Do we see it like blowing up again? Like, especially because it's always on sale. Yes. Or if it'll be in the vault, Steam top sellers.
Because you still have people that won't touch it, Origin, because they don't like EA or they don't like Origin. There are still many people on the PC platform. There's more visibility, and the fact that it'll be on Steam is a big thing.
Yeah,
there are people that just will not touch any launcher other than Steam.
I'm excited for that game to come back, especially because Apex. You know, like it saw a boost on consoles because Apex launched, but now it's going to be on Steam. It'll be front and center in the vault. People already have it if they sub. Which it's going to be free trial for the first.
Everybody should play it. Everybody should play that.
Well, yeah, everybody. It's a rule of thumb. Play Titanfall 2, but I feel like
Dead Space 1 and 2. Play those games.
Yeah, maybe not 3, but 1 and 2 though.
Hey, if you're looking for one of the last good Need for Speed games, you can play Need for Speed: The Run. Also, I think. I think
hopefully this opinion changes in the coming week.
Hopefully there's another good one coming.
God, remember when Need for Speed games were good? Oh man, those were the days.
I love.
Remember the first Need for Speed on the what was it? The 3DO. I remember playing that as a child.
Yes,
I know I'm dating myself again.
Oh, there was Porsche Unleashed.
Porsche Unleashed was amazing. I love that.
What happened to
game.
like racing games? Because there used to be a ton. Now there's like 3 franchises.
What happened
on a good year?
Arcade games started dying out because they could not evolve, and then they started coming out with these hyper-realistic simulation games. Like Sega GT came out, and Gran Turismo came out, and then all the big ones on the PC. Then everybody's like, "I want to be just like that." And then slowly but surely, arcade games started dying out. Ridge Racer, which was the king of arcade racers, died out. Need for Speed games went down a shitter, and Outrun was gone because Sega lost the Ferrari license. They stopped making those games. Yeah, arcade games just went away.
I miss racing games in general. It used to be like 4 or 5 a year, and now we're here with like Forza, and that's it. And like Gran Turismo Sport updated every year.
At least Horizon's like the light in the dark tunnel. I've always enjoyed
at least that one's good.
You know, the problem I have with Horizon is that it's just Horizon. It's a great game, and as great as it is, I would like to see some kind of variety. I want other games. I want other racing games. I want Bandai Namco to bring back Ridge Racer. I want.
You just like Ridge Racer, Keith.
I love Ridge Racer. I love it.
I do too. Man, there was one rumored in development for the Switch a while back, but nothing ever came of that.
I always like, that ain't happening.
I could see that happening. That seems like a Nintendo thing to do, especially like modern Nintendo in this day and age. They're like, you know what? We're going to bring back Ridge Racer. It's on the Switch. Buy it.
Ambitious Nintendo.
Bandai Namco killed off Ridge Racer when they made that Ridge Racer Unbounded. And also,
maybe Bandai, like, because they're helping Nintendo with Smash. I mean, it's part of the deal we don't know about. We're like, okay, we'll help you with Smash 4 and Ultimate, but you got to publish this Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer and Smash.
And there was also from Ridge Racer. What was it? There was that pay to play Ridge Racer that killed it, completely killed it. Then what was it? Yeah, geez. Bandai Namco was like, this is terrible. Driftopia, terrible game. They shut down all the servers, and everybody was like, what the hell happened to Ridge Racer?
I think I think it's coming back. I think in the next 3 years we'll see a new Ridge Racer.
I would love to see
it. Come back to this show. Come to the VOD on Mixer.
I would love for it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I would love to see it because I'm one of the biggest Ridge Racer fans out there. I mean, I remember playing Rave Racer when I was stationed in Fort McClellan, Alabama, when I was in the military police. I used to go to that store all the time and play it. Loved it.
If Phantasy Star Online 2 can get announced at E3 on the Xbox stage, anything is possible.
Yeah, that's very true.
But I mean, there's no Half-Life 3 yet.
That's the thing. Because you forget Valve is working on 3 AAA mainline VR.
Oh, we're not getting Half-Life. Half-Life is dead.
Half-Life VR. I'm playing through Half-Life 1 VR right now on the Quest, which I'm going to talk about next week when I finish it. Man, Half-Life 3 in VR, it's happening. I'm telling you.
All those riders.
We're making predictions, man. I'm telling you right now.
All right, you want to talk about predictions? How good is Diablo 4 going to be?
Not good.
Are you serious?
7 out of 10. Calling it right now.
7 out of 10 is not bad. I'll take that.
Not great either. 7 out of 10. No auction house, though. Not at launch. They learned from that mistake, but it's not going to be great. It's not going to be great at all.
It does need to have one. So Diablo 4 has been rumored for quite some time. It was confirmed last year. It was in production. And then
talking about that phone one?
Was that?
Talking about that phone one? That's Diablo 4, right?
Immortal.
That's the best one, right?
Diablo 4 phones. That's what it is, right?
That was the beginning of Blizzard's fall from grace. So they finally showed off Diablo 4 at BlizzCon 2019, and we got a really nice 9-minute cinematic trailer, and it got me hyped.
Gameplay too, right?
We got a gameplay trailer after that. It was like 3 minutes of gameplay, but Lilith is back. If she's gonna go back and bring back Diablo, who knows? I don't think she is. But I'm glad to see this game finally materialized and people lost their shit when they saw this game. Reddit, Twitter, every other forum I went to, they were like, thank God this game is finally back. Blizzard gave us some information about it. There's 3 classes right now. We got the Druid, we've got the Warrior, we've got a Sorceress. And everything that we've seen so far was pretty much spot on with the leaks that we saw. That said, the game is going to be more grittier, more darker, so it seems to be taking a lot of cues from Diablo 2 instead of Diablo 3, which in my opinion was not a very good Diablo game. And I'm pretty sure most Diablo fans were in agreement. Diablo 3 was just a train wreck, and Blizzard just kept trying to throw stuff to see what stuck, and then eventually I guess they just gave up on it because they haven't really done anything major for Diablo 3 since.
They added a class like a year or two ago, right?
They added the Crusader, which I enjoyed, but
there was one after that. I think the Necromancer or something like that.
Yeah, I stopped. I was like, I'm done.
I don't like. I enjoy Diablo 3, but I'm not a huge Diablo fan. So like everyone talking about 4 and they're name dropping all these people and like dropping theories. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get the cool colored loot.
But there is some downsides to this. More importantly, the game will not have an offline mode, which is terrible. They said they want everything to be online, so everybody can have this seamless online world. And I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't like the fact that I don't have access to play the game offline, because what happens if I drop my internet connection? We're going back to that again.
Does nobody remember SimCity? Does nobody remember the launch of Diablo 3? Like, since we're keeping in the franchise, Diablo 3, man, that launch.
No game that doesn't require you to be online should be online only. That's just dumb. Let me jump into a game. What if I don't want to be online? What if I'm on a plane? What if if
you can play this by yourself, it should not be online only.
Exactly.
That should be the general rule of thumb here.
They should not force that on people. That is terrible. But yeah, it's only online. I don't know. I hope they change their mind, but this is Blizzard. They usually don't go back on a decision like this. So yeah.
I just had weird flashbacks to Need for Speed 2015. Anyway, keep going.
Weird flashbacks to any game that's online.
Need for Speed
go
Rivals.
on and on.
Why was that game always online? It was single player.
So was Rivals, and it killed Rivals. It killed it. I was
there
like,
was that
hey.
weird period where like,
Rivals was really bad. Overall.
There's like that weird like 3-year period towards the start of this generation where every game was like online only, so you could see like leaderboards.
Yeah.
It was a weird phase we went through.
I don't need to be online to play a game. This needs to go away. But yeah, pretty much everything that the gentleman who spoiled the game said pretty much came out there. We don't know anything about the PvP yet. I mean, we never got PvP.
Is that a thing in this PvP?
It was supposed to be a PvP in 3. There was PvP in 2. There was no PvP in 3 that I'm aware of. They kept saying we're working on it, and I don't think it ever happened. But there is supposed to be, per the rumors and the leaks, that there will be PvP in Diablo 4.
So like Diablo 4 has been rumored for a while, and like all the like the development of this game worries me because 1, it's been forever since Diablo 3 launched. And 2, like I remember seeing like pretty credible rumors that this was going to be like not a traditional Diablo, but like a third-person action adventure kind of thing. But then that got scrapped.
I'm glad that was bull.
Yeah, but that reportedly got scrapped. So now here we are with the traditional. But like it feels like they can't decide what to do with Diablo 4, and that scares me. I don't think it should take too long for them to crank out another Diablo. Like it's not exactly.
I mean, look how long it took from them to give it Diablo 3.
And look what happened with that game. It wasn't great.
Yeah,
I'm worried. Long developments are almost never a good thing.
Are you referring to Duke Nukem Forever?
Okay, look, I think once you pass like a 4 or 5 year threshold, like the traditional AAA development, like the longer you go on every year, subtracts 5 points from your Metascore. That's how it works.
Okay, all right.
That's the formula. All right, it's the mathematical equation.
We'll have to wait to see what happens with Diablo 4. I'm very optimistic.
Do we have a release window or like even a year?
Nope.
They announced a lot of games without years at BlizzCon.
I mean, outside of Diablo 4, we also got the announcement of Overwatch 2. I think that logo is very tacky. Everybody that saw that leaked logo was like, "This can't."
I was like, "This is not good. This is like something you'd make in a graphic design class, like Intro to Graphic Design 101."
It's not very good. It reminds me of Team Fortress 2. So I was like, "Yeah, it's not going to happen." And then they're like, "Hey, look, it's Overwatch 4 or Overwatch 4, yeah, Overwatch 2."
Can we talk about how weird this game is? Because like, yes, what is it? Because okay, so Overwatch 2, you would think, okay, sequel to Overwatch. I'm going to buy Overwatch 2 to play the new Overwatch 2 things. So there's a single player story, which is only in Overwatch 2. And then there's hero missions, which are repeatable co-op missions that you like level up your heroes and grind for loot in. But like the new multiplayer mode and all the new maps and all the new heroes are going to be in Overwatch 1. So if you're only playing PvP, which is the entirety of the Overwatch fan base right now, because it's a completely multiplayer game, you don't have to buy Overwatch 2. It's only if you want the story or the hero missions. Right. Pointless. Why? Why is it? It's going to be a $60 game on the shelf at a store. Why would I buy this unless I want the story?
I think this goes into development issues. I think the fact that this is pretty much essentially Overwatch 1, but it's an upgraded engine. It's another way for them to charge for a new game without people giving them shit, which they're going to get.
This campaign better be banging. All right, it better be like long and fulfilling
because
I'm not
you
going to
think
drop
about
60 on like a 5-hour campaign with Overwatch mechanics.
Would you pay $60 for a simple expansion?
I paid $40 for a story to Overwatch, which is what this game should cost.
So they're doing that. They're bringing over more changes, a better game engine, and what better way to say,
they
hey,
can't overhaul
$60.
the engine too much because everything's going to be in Overwatch 1. So it's all it is a graphical overhaul.
I don't think it's going to be any kind of parody. I think it's going to be Overwatch 1. Hey, this is you. If you don't upgrade to 2, great. You can still play online, but this is going to look so much better. No, there is
parody. They said there's parody. Well, not graphically, but like I don't play Overwatch already looks fine.
I don't believe them.
All the new heroes, all your loot, all your skins, all the maps, and all the gameplay will be in both Overwatch games. Even on the Switch version. It's happening. Well, let's just take it at face value and say they are. Like this game, it should have just been a DLC or a standalone expansion, not Overwatch 2. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. This is a little weird.
I mean, like the PvE events in Overwatch are terrible. They're awful. They're so bad. They're not fun. They're not engaging. They're over in like 5 minutes and you can walk through them without even shooting the enemies. They're bad. I'm not going to pay for a full campaign of those.
Well, hopefully the story modes are a lot better, but
the thing is like if you've been following the Avengers game, it's essentially just Marvel's Avengers but for Overwatch 2 because you have the campaign you play.
Yeah.
You can play it in co-op. Granted, that's Overwatch, but like the hero missions are kind of like the Warzone or battle missions, whatever they're called in Avengers, where you go repeat them with your friends for loot. They're kind of the same game. Like that's the same formula. And I don't know if we're going to start seeing more games use that formula. And that kind of worries me because I don't know if I like that.
I think we're going to see a lot more games because it seems like the easy way out now.
Is this like the next evolution of like the live service Destiny kind of game where you have like a campaign that's not necessarily repeatable, but then you have like separate co-op missions that are repeatable?
Anthem, Destiny, The Division.
Well, that's different because those are all like the campaign is the repeatable stuff, and you play through that with your friends, and that's the way these games are structured. Is you have the campaign, you only designed to play it one time, so it's still a fulfilling campaign. Some of them are like the Avengers campaign is single player, but then you have separate co-op missions. Like, is that what we're going to see next gen from like a lot of games?
Yes. Yeah, because it's easy. It's easy to do.
I would say it's easier to do the Destiny model where it's just the campaign missions and you like tell everybody to log in and play like 3 a day like Destiny does, your daily story missions, instead of like designing a full-on single player. It feels like it's harder to design a worthwhile, compelling single player campaign and then separate co-op missions instead of like
if you look at
both be the same
if you look at what Blizzard's doing, I mean, they're not really doing much of anything. They're tweaking the characters, they're giving you some co-op mode, and that's it. The PvP stuff's already in place.
But they're making a fully featured campaign and then a co-op mode separately.
Well,
I'm baffled as to why they're separate modes instead of having the missions be repeatable.
We gotta remember some of those missions that like they have those co-op missions now. They also have like those events to come out.
Yeah.
So they have those in game. They're just bringing more of them into the game, and they're not special events anymore. They're just they're available all the time.
It's weird to me that there's two co-op parts of Overwatch 2 essentially. You have the campaign, which is you play through it one time with your friends. And then you repeat the hero missions, which are not in the campaign. They're essentially side missions. It's weird to me.
That's why you pay $60 to play this game.
Those aren't good, though. Oh, my God. I'm mad. I don't like Overwatch, man. It's just...
There you go.
Why? Just why? That's the tagline.
And then even better, here's the thing. If you want those, because if you don't upgrade from Overwatch 1 or Overwatch 2, you can still do the PvP stuff. But if you want those missions, you got to pony up the money.
And nobody does. Nobody wants those. They're not good.
So I imagine a lot of people are going to do it. It's weird.
Yeah, Overwatch is going to sell.
I also think it's weird, and I don't want Nintendo fanboys or Nintendo fans, whatever, get upset at me. I'm really surprised to bring it to the Switch, just because Overwatch on the Switch did not review very well. I've heard a lot of bad stuff about it.
Do we think Overwatch 2 on the Switch is going to use the same graphic engine as Overwatch 1?
Yes.
It can handle the
second.
But no. But one. Okay, so we've determined that there are 3 pillars to Overwatch 2 for you to upgrade: campaign, hero missions, graphical overhaul. The Switch is just 2/3 of that game. Then there's no graphical overhaul.
I mean,
it's just Overwatch, but with extra campaign missions.
People are buying it. I don't know why.
It's just
like
Blizzard is in a weird spot, man. I don't like anything they've been doing recently.
Yeah,
and also they announced 2 games with conceptual trailers that barely show any gameplay, no dates. Jeff Kaplan's like, it's coming whenever. It's really far out. Right after the whole Hong Kong controversy. I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't line up right to me.
Yeah, and then we've seen a lot of stuff in World of Warcraft. I'm not going to discuss that because I've left the game completely.
Dude, I don't care about WoW either. So,
but that's not coming out till 2020 as well either.
But at least that has a time for. They also announced the Hearthstone auto chess game, which I might check out because I like auto chess. But
really, I never understood the concept of auto chess.
I love it. I love Teamfight Tactics more. I think that's the only like really truly good auto chess game out there, and that's getting ported to mobile and I believe consoles. So like, why would I check out Hearthstone Battlegrounds or whatever it's called? But I might just because it's free.
All right. Yeah, so I guess you guys aren't excited for anything coming out of BlizzCon 2019.
No.
Well, maybe kind of Overwatch, but like I fell off of Overwatch so hard. I do like the world and the characters, but it's just those PvE missions are so bland and uninspired to me. And like just the gameplay they showed, it just looks like those PvE missions with like dialogue over them.
Yeah, I'd be into it if it was like an upgrade. Like if it was like $30 or whatever, and you can just buy it as like a addition to Overwatch 2, or like, you know, if you could upgrade to Overwatch 2, and spend $30, and then all of a sudden you got this new version, I'd be into it. Maybe
it screams like the game screams no identity to me because like you have the campaign, but then they're like, well, we have to have a PvE grind of some sort, so we have replayable hero missions where you level up your heroes and get loot. Like just make the campaign missions replay. Just do Destiny. Like that formula exists. If it's not broke, do not try to fix it, Blizzard. Because when you try to fix things break even harder. Okay, just make your campaign repeatable.
But it's about making that money. They got to make that money. They
can make the money from a repeatable campaign. I just don't see why they're making the campaign play it one time and then repeat the side missions. Like make your campaign compelling enough to be repeated.
I think we're all missing the big picture here because it's not Blizzard, it's Activision Blizzard.
Still,
they want the money.
Blizzard is shorthand for Activision Blizzard, and it has been that way for a long time. Like, I understand they want the money. I'm going to criticize them for wanting the money because this game looks uninspired and pointless to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm still going to buy it, but like...
Oh, see? All right, there we go. So he's still going to buy it.
Well, I'm going to buy it because I want to like talk about it and be part of the discussion and cover it. But like, I haven't played Overwatch in how long has the game been out? Like 3 years now?
It's been
I haven't played Overwatch since I was in high school, and it's been a while.
I used to be in Overwatch heavily, like every day, nonstop, sort of like I am now with Destiny 2. And then they started making changes to make people happy. The meta went out the window, and I was like, you know what? I can't play this game anymore. You're screwing up so much stuff.
Just charge me $40 for a campaign DLC. Just please. It should not take this long for a full $60 game on the shelf when it's just DLC.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I just found that Uplay article. Somebody's like, their Uplay still charged me even though I canceled this thing 2 months ago. Jeez.
God, how does your subscription service just not work? How do you have a buggy subservice? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, the guy was like, I canceled at the beginning of October. There's still another subscription which is still active, still being charged. I've sent you an email verification. Could you please click the link, cancel for me? And then they come back. They're like, hey, we've canceled the remaining live subscription. Great. Can I get my money back? Nope, I can't refund. I can't request a refund in this case. I can't get it back to you. But the guy's like, but in my account, it shows
I didn't want to pay for it.
It shows it's suspended. Why is there another subscription? Jeez.
Imagine paying like, what is it, $15 a month? That's already too much. Imagine paying $15 a month for like Assassin's Creed.
I'd call you an idiot. Sorry, but I would.
You just get the game. They're all free updates anyway.
Yeah, they're not even like Ubisoft games go on heavy discount like a month after launch. There's not enough of them to $15 a month. You have to buy 3 full price Ubisoft games. I
would imagine that they're either going to drop the price or maybe the service may not even be in existence.
I think they're banking on it because it's on Stadia. Remember, that's going to launch with Stadia. I think they're banking on that. They're like, they don't have any options. They'll pay $15 a month for Uplay Plus.
The hell I will. Not with that garbage. No thanks. Okay. I'm good.
First, bold of Ubisoft to assume people are going to be on Stadia to begin with. And second, bold of them to assume people are going to pay for Uplay Plus on top of Stadia Pro.
I don't. I was very optimistic about Stadia's chances, but the more and more we go, it's like, yeah, this is not.
I'm gonna give them until Stadia base launches. I'm like, Pro is still the beta test. I'm gonna give them benefit of the doubt until it's available on like the App Store. Like that's when it's fully launched to me. But still, they're running out of time. They are running out of time.
I have no faith. No offense.
Yeah, they're not.
All right. So reviews dropped the other day for Death Stranding, and wow, the reviews are all over the place. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people are in the middle. And then we also got news that the game is actually coming out for PC next year, which shouldn't really be news.
They announced that when Kojima came out on stage and he was like, PlayStation 4 console exclusive. It's also going to come to PC at a later date. Everybody just forgot because Sony's like only on PlayStation then every trailer.
Yeah, Sony brainwashed everybody. Everybody forgot.
But Microsoft does that too with their Xbox One console exclusives. They're like only on Xbox. But why do we understand that whenever they do it, but not when Sony does it?
So let's talk about that bit before we talk about the reviews, because you know what, Rob, you were going to say something. Say it.
I was going to say, well, it's more because like Xbox announced that they have that Play Anywhere initiative, where so like any games that they have that are like first party will be available on PC later on. So I guess that makes sense, just because like people are just like, oh, they introduced this idea of it's available on PC whenever we can just go and play it there. That's fine. Like Sony doesn't really. I don't think they ever did that. So
yeah, they don't. But
it's more like a game specific thing. So I guess I understand why people would have just forgot about it, especially if they're still just like their main marketing like giant behind it, getting the game out to everybody. But I just don't know
how you have Kojima come out and announce this game is coming to 2 platforms, and you forget about one of the platforms. How do you forget a game is launching on a platform? How did the entire industry forget that a game is launching on a platform?
Yeah.
Because Sony brainwashed everybody. That's why. And it's funny now because I'm looking at all these people. Okay, so first they were like, hey, it's PlayStation 4 exclusive. You guys can't get it. Ha, whatever. And now that they came out and said, it is coming out for PC. Oh, this game is terrible. You PC beggars had to beg to get the game on the PC.
Those are just, don't address those people. Don't feed those people. Okay?
So this is not how this works.
We don't talk about fanboys on this show, okay?
Thank God.
It's not productive and they don't contribute to anything. Just
it's hilarious.
They're the kind of people to send death threats over like a game coming out on extra platforms. Just we don't give those people a platform here,
This is ridiculous. All right, let's talk about those reviews.
Man, they're everywhere, huh?
You guys have been following this one more than I have because I was trying to go into the game if I played the game. Surprised, but these reviews, like I know I talked to a couple people on Twitter and they're like, so this game doesn't have the kind of gameplay that I'm looking forward to. Pass. And other people are like, this is amazing. I can't wait to play it day one. And I'm like, I don't understand how these reviews are so polarizing. How I don't get it. I don't understand.
It's an art house game. I think people went in expecting Kojima to make like people were waiting for because all the trailers they showed Norman Reedus just walking, and people were like, oh, when we get the game and we do the cool stealth action gameplay, then everybody will see. No, that's the game. That's the whole game, is just walking and delivering packages. It's an art house game.
You are the mailman.
It's an art house game with a AAA budget and marketing budget. So like it's not Metal Gear. It's something completely new, something we've never really seen before from a video game. And it's going to turn a lot of people off because it's not trying to be like Sony wrote Kojima a blank check and they were like, do whatever you want. He was like, okay, I will do whatever I want. And he made a game about FedEx.
Yeah. And in all fairness, it's still reviewing pretty well if you take all those and average them together. It's still like around the 80
right now or something.
The 80
it's
respectable score.
It's not doing people wanted expected it to do.
That's a really good score in 86. That's a great aggregate.
Not bad at all.
But it's not. People are like, oh, 86. People are like, why are you saying it's divisive? And 86 is not divisive. It's divisive because no one's giving it an 8. It's either like 9s and 10s. There's a few 8s, but on the whole, it's either 9s and 10s or like 5s and 6s. Which is really low for a AAA game these days. Like Fallout 76 got like 4s and 5s, and I feel like that people were way too easy on that game.
I saw some people getting upset because at one point Gears of War 5 was beating it, and they were like, "Wow, Gears beat this game," and I'm like, "Gears wasn't a bad game, people. It just wasn't your cup of tea. You need
Gears.
to stop
Gears is
that."
just kind of like Gears, We talked about this when Gears launched. It's it's a known quantity. It's not really going to push any boundaries, but this is pushing boundaries. I think Death Stranding is like ignoring a lot of traditional conventions we normally expect from AAA games, and it's really trying to do something unique, which I'm super excited for it because every game I play is the same video game with a different theme, pretty much.
Yeah, I still don't know. I mean, like I talked about before we started the show, I'm still going to keep my I lose my way. I'm still going to keep my collector's edition because they're all sold out, and you can never get it again.
Yeah.
Unless you go on eBay and pay like $400 or $500, so that's not happening. And I do want to give the game a fair chance. I do want to try it and see how it is. But from everything that I've read, and it's not much because again, I wanted to go into the game fresh. I don't know. I don't think it's my cup of thing.
Once we all play it, I think our opinions are all going to be radically different. Because usually when games come out, we usually all disagree it's good, or we all say it's bad. Like we take, because all the games are pretty much, we know what to expect from a AAA game. Opinions fall around the same area. Like, yeah, this is a good game. Yeah, this is a bad game. This is just so wildly different though, and I feel like I've been loving hearing everybody's opinions over this past week, because like they're all over the place. Some people are like, I hate it. Some people love it.
All over the place.
I love it.
So one game site called it garbage and probably
I saw a game site called irredeemable garbage.
Oh man,
I've seen worst game like in a long time, and I've seen it be called game of the generation. So
yeah, I'm excited for it. If only because I like how polarizing it is. The only thing that I can think of that would explain why it's polarizing is that it kind of tackles the very idea of what a fun video game would be. A lot of different people obviously have a different opinion on what makes a video game fun. They might be expecting.
Can I stop you there for a second? I'm going to ask you a quick question. I want you to answer this too. Are games supposed to be fun?
I was going to ask this question before no, they're not. They don't have to be fun.
Yeah, it shouldn't have to be fun necessarily. I mean, there are plenty of games out there that have a message that, you can go in there for the experience. It doesn't have to necessarily be like, oh man, I can kill all these guys really quick and it feels, amazing. I can shoot this gun real good, or I can, bring this Tetris block down and it feels amazing because I've never had so much exhilarating fun doing this puzzle game or whatever. It's not necessarily about that. Not every video game is treated the same. It doesn't have to necessarily be this linear. I'm either going to enjoy my experience when I do this thing and it's going to be fun, or I'm not. Like, the definition of fun isn't going to necessarily be what this game is going to prove to you. Like, it's going to be more like, what are you going to look for in the experience? Are you going to be open-minded, or are you expecting to play it like a video game? You have a goal, go do it, and that's it. Like, I think it's just going to be polarizing in the sense that, like, people just like they expect like the stealth shooter, like you were talking about, or like like stealth action gameplay. Like that is one tiny part of what this game is about. And I think people, as long as they go into it with an open mind, like, then they can fully expect to have a good time, or at least be intrigued by what it's trying to do. Because judging from the impressions that have come out, it just seems like it's something that it tests you in like a variety of different ways. It tests your patience. It tests your, whether you want to explore or not. You want to look around. Like, it's not going to necessarily be about the goal. It's going to be about what you do along the way and how that contributes to your experience more than just like how the game plays or what you're actually going after, what the game wants you to do.
How much combat is in this game?
Not a lot. It picks up towards the end from what I've heard, but like not a lot. The 95% of the gameplay is walking across barren landscapes, doing nothing and trying not to trip. That's the whole game. But a lot of the reviews that I've seen, even the perfect score reviews, said the gameplay in this game is not engaging, not fun, not really compelling is the wrong word, because I think it is compelling. It's tedious and frustrating, but on purpose. So do we think if a game is like bad, but it's trying to be bad and it's trying to frustrate you and trying to be as obtuse as possible, does that make it a bad game?
I love Dark Souls.
No, not in like it's hard and like you don't really know what's going on unless you read all the item descriptions. I mean, like, just to walk in this game and not fall over, you have to like balance. And like, if you try to cross the river and you lose your packages, sorry, go walk all the way back.
I think that can be frustrating. I don't think people would like that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're not supposed to like it. It's that way intentionally. It's part of the message and the design and like what this game is trying to say. But does that make it a bad video game? Because that's the thing. Is Death Stranding mechanically speaking, is Death Stranding a good video game? I think no. As a piece of art, is Death Stranding good? I think yes.
But I don't play art. I play games.
I think games are art, though. All games.
That can be art. Yeah, that can be. I mean, that can be
just like good art. It doesn't appeal to everybody,
Right. Right.
But like certain movies, like I love certain movies that are uncomfortable to watch, and I won't necessarily watch them again because they make me feel uncomfortable. But like Death Stranding, I might get through all 50 hours and I hate the whole experience, but I walk away like, man, that was really powerful. That's had something to say, and that's like that was a really cohesive piece right there,
So that goes with a conversation I had with another person who reviews games on the website, and he was talking about. He heard there was another person on another website who had access to the game, started playing it and stopped playing it and said they would not be finishing a review because the game just wasn't thrilling. It wasn't enjoyable. He wasn't enthusiastic about the game.
Just a review though?
Yeah, that's I think he was saying put in an official review, you have to at least have finished it. But yeah, I've seen a lot of like reviews for Death Stranding where it's like I couldn't bring myself to finish it. That's my review.
That's not a review.
I think it's
an opinion.
It's a good opinion. I think if you couldn't bring yourself to finish a game, that's pretty telling that you didn't like it. Yeah, I don't think you can put a comprehensive review out if you haven't seen a game to its conclusion. But like, I feel like, like Edge Magazine, they're not going to review it because they can't meet the deadline. They hate it, but they're going to put out a preview of the 40 hours they played. And I think that's, as long as they don't score it and like say this is our review, that's still good coverage. You know,
I mean, a review is always your opinion.
But it's comprehensive of the entire piece. You know?
Yes.
I mean, I think it's good they're calling it a preview of and impressions of their 40-hour playthrough and not review because they didn't finish it, you know?
I mean, some games you can play to a point where you get a good grasp of the game. Games like this, no.
But still, what about if the ending's bad? Like, what if you only played 10 hours of Mass Effect 3 and you're like, yeah, it's good.
Well,
that's
what I'm saying.
You didn't see the ending, you know? Like, you have to see the whole piece.
Like sports games, racing games, games like Dark Souls, games that never change. They're constant throughout the entire game. Nothing's going to change up. Okay, fine, you can do that. But games like this that tell a story, that they're an adventure that you have to see.
I think even games that are just like Dark Souls 1, if you only play like 75% of it, if you don't get to Gwyn I think that the fight with Gwyn at the very end of Dark Souls 1 is like, that's a moment, you know, that's a very fond memory I have of that game. And I feel like if I was doing a review and I played 80% of that game, if I stopped like after Sif or something, like I wouldn't be able to do a full comprehensive review. I wouldn't be comfortable calling that a review because it's not. It's just my opinion. So it's my impressions at that point.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, you got to look at some of the reviews. Some of the reviews are mechanical. They talk about how the game plays, what they thought about what they played so far. Not if you want to like if I got to Gwen or if I got to the very end and I want to talk about my entire experience, you can also do that in a review. But sometimes people don't like those because they may feel those are spoiling or full of spoilers.
I know, but like I still think you need to have finished a game to do a full review because the ending can definitely impact your feelings on the game. You know,
I think a lot of people would not be reviewing games if that was the case.
Yeah,
which may be a good thing.
But that's just us talking about games media as a whole and its many problems. Some people just don't finish games, and I think you kind of have to, no matter how. Oh, but they're long. I mean, if you're going to review games, you just finish the game. You know what you got yourself into. But then there's all the problem with embargoes and deadlines and not getting codes and traffic. It's never a black and white thing, you know.
And clicks and gaming journalism is a mess.
Yeah,
we'll leave it at that.
It's in a strange state. But yeah, back to Death Stranding.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I can't wait to walk across nothing while listening to music and stopping the baby from crying. Yeah, that sounds great.
From all like the previews and trailers and stuff, I wasn't necessarily expecting like a full-on action game that would, you know, like blow my mind mechanically or would just be fun to like take down enemies and bosses with or whatever. That was never really kind of what I expected. Sure, I expected those elements in there just because coming from Kojima, like he made Metal Gear, like that's what he's known for. He's known for really, really good boss design, really good, like, you know, just stealth action sequences. And a lot of the reviews that I've seen, like they don't enjoy the boss encounters at all. They feel like they're tedious or just like unchallenging or like even some of just like the random fights and stuff. Like there's still stealth elements there that they said they relatively enjoyed, but like a lot of the impressions were just like, yeah, it's bare bones. I mean, it focuses more on your journey rather than like the fights that you have to do or whatever. And so I mean, like just like hearing that and then pairing it with like the trailers that we've seen so far and all the other like previews and stuff. I mean, I kind of never expected like a full on action game. This game always seemed like it was just like a horror-esque like open world thing. It's almost as if like this is kind of what Silent Hills may have been, but then just kind of blew it up into something it's like its own idea. And so I've always just kind of expected it as something that was going to be more exploratory anyway. And just given that Kojima finally being free from, well, you know, all that crap, he's finally on to do his own thing. I expected something different, you know, not necessarily something that's like just like violence heavy or like military stealth focused. I expected more of something new, and you know, that's what a lot of people are getting now. And I guess, you know, they may have expected more of an action game or whatever, or expected more elements to be challenging or whatever. But you know, people are going through these sections where you're just quite literally exploring or going somewhere and dropping off a thing. And they're getting mad at the tedium because they don't enjoy it. But at the same time, it's like, it's there on purpose. Like it's there to frustrate you. And, you know, whether you like that or not is your opinion. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you have to understand that was put there for a reason. It's not just a mechanic to get you from A to B so that you can enjoy the story. Like that's a big part of it. Like, you know, it's not annoying you because it's a bad game. It's annoying you because it wants to.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I'm going to say what I said on the show a few months ago when we talked about Death Stranding. This is not a conventional video game. This is a high concept indie game with a AAA budget. Like, this is something that if it did not have this kind of budget and it wasn't Kojima, this is like something like a game that popped up out of nowhere on like itch.io or like Steam, and it'd be like 2D low budget pixel game. This is that, but with like millions and millions of dollars and all these high profile actors in it. Like, it's not a AAA conventional video game. It's just not what it is. It's something new and unique that we've never seen before. And that's going to polarize people.
Yeah, I think what Rob was getting to, and I agree, I don't think it's fair that people were drawing a conclusion that this would be similar to Metal Gear, because a lot of people were saying that, hey, Kojima's making it, it's going to be like Metal Gear. And if you're not used to Kojima's games, you may not like this. There's no mistake. The man's a genius. He can tell some great stories, can make a great game. And I think, as much as I'm very skeptical about it, I definitely think it's a masterpiece in its own right, especially because he's behind it. I don't think he's made a bad game. He's made some very controversial games, points to Metal Gear Solid 2, but I don't think he's ever made a bad game.
He's only made, like, I think, great games at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like, he makes fantastic pieces.
Yeah, which is why it hurt Konami so much when he finally left, but they deserved it.
I don't think they cared, man. They're in the pachinko world now.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of crap to deal with, but we don't have to.
I do have a question. I just want to get your guys' opinions, because I've seen this question asked, and I don't think it makes a difference on the bearing of the game. But do you think that the game finally being confirmed that it's coming to the PC is going to hurt the sales on the PlayStation 4?
Oh, no.
Because apparently people seem to think that's going to happen.
That's not how that works. That's never how that's worked with any game ever.
It's like the PC version doesn't come out till next year. A, people are not going to want to wait till next year, and B,
it just reaches more people. Like, I've never understood that. Like, oh, no one's going to buy it. Yeah. No one's going to buy games on Xbox because you're putting them on PC. That's not how that works. Okay,
I'm still going to
buy the game.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people like me who are probably going to double buy it if they enjoyed it that much.
Hell yeah.
Like, I'm doing that with Red Dead Redemption by mid to end of this month. Like,
which
I'm
is another game that I forgot.
And I want to talk about Red Dead 2 and how it relates to Death Stranding.
That comes out
3 days from today on the 5th on the PC. But I think Red Dead 2, and when people talk about Death Stranding, they say it has no respect for the player's time. And I heard that thrown around a lot last year with Red Dead, when you have to ride the horse for 10 to 15 minutes and it's just nothing. And occasionally things happen, but really it's just you and Arthur, and you're on that horse and you're just riding and riding. And I adored that aspect of the game. So I feel like I'm going to love Death Stranding, and I'm the kind of player it's catering to. But I feel like when games do these sort of things, it's part of the experience. It's not, I don't think games have to necessarily be mechanically fun and compelling 100% of the time, because I think being unfun and being frustrating and even being boring can still say something, and it makes it contrasts really well with the other parts, And I think saying it has no respect for the player's time is inaccurate. I think that's just false, actually, because it has respect for your time. It's just trying to make you feel things that are not necessarily positive.
Yeah.
And of course, that's why this game is so polarizing.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of those, types of ideas put out in indie games and stuff. And I mean, it's prevalent in a lot of indie games. There's a lot of uses of like patience, just like moments of zen, or just like monotony, or like, you're kind of like sitting in a car while something's playing in the background. I mean, there are examples of this in a lot of indie games, but I'm just going to draw back from like Life is Strange, because that's one I'm most familiar with, because I'm still playing through 2 right now. But there's like moments in the episode where like, you'll just get hit with like a nice soft little acoustic song in the background. And like, there are moments in the game where you're just kind of like waiting in between, your next encounter, your next conversation, the next person you can talk to, or if you're just waiting for like the next beat in the story, you're going on to this next place or whatever. But there's a lot of moments in that game where it's just like, you're like, one, and specifically in the episode 1 of Life is Strange 2, where you made it to a gas station, you hitch a ride with this hippie dude who's very nice to you, yada yada. There's a large moment in the game where like you're riding along with him, and you're going as far as he can go, and you sit in the car for a while, and like there's a little bit of like music and stuff in the background.
Yeah, Brody is cool. I love him.
Oh yeah. And like, there's just like music in the background, but like, you're not really doing anything. You just kind of look around and stuff. Like the camera will pan back and forth. There's a quick conversation that happens that's pretty emotional. But then you sit in the car for a while, and it's just that like moments like that are really cool. So it's like, it's that, and you pair that with like Red Dead Redemption 2, which has those moments of where you're just riding on the horse, going around and stuff. Like, it's like these are things that it's going to be focusing on a lot of, because it's going to be like a long game, a long AAA game where moments like this will be happening all the time. Like it's just taking those ideas and kind of bringing them up on a larger scale. So it's like, it's interesting to expect like what it's going to be like, or how it's going to like go through, like, how are you going to feel when you're just walking around a lot and you're just looking around? Like, is that going to get grating after a while? Is that how you're going to feel? Or are you still going to be interested in just like looking at these new places? I know me personally, if I were playing it right now, I'd be super interested in looking around and just like, oh, look at all these new things that I can see. Like, I've never been to this region before. Oh, there's a snow region. I wonder what kind of cool stuff is around here. What can I just find? What are these like beautiful, like scenic locations that I can see and, just enjoy there? Like, a lot of this game is just going to be like atmosphere. It's not going to be necessarily about what you're doing. Like, it's going to focus on that a lot. And we've seen it in indie games before, but on such a larger scale, I think people are just like, maybe just off put by how long it takes to do certain things. Maybe that's the reason why people don't like it, is just that it takes those moments that have happened in indie games before, but it like expands it out to so long that it takes up a lot of your time. And maybe people are just uncomfortable about that, or just don't enjoy that aspect of it. And that's totally fine. But it's not something to knock the game for. It's just doing it on purpose because it has more time to do it now. Like, they've had the budget to make these long moments in time to just kind of go around, and you're left to your own thoughts and what you want to feel in those moments. And
and I think those moments in any other game would speak volumes, like those quiet moments. But the problem with Death Stranding that a lot of people seem to have is that that's kind of the whole game, and those moments seem to lose they're not as special. When this whole game is fetch quests, if you don't know, like the missions, like for the first 10 hours of the game, are like, hey Sam, here's some boxes, take them to like the other corner of the map, and then once you get there, here's some more boxes and take them over here. And it's just walking, and then you have to manage to pick up an item in this game, like with your right hand, you have to hold down the right trigger. And if you let go of it, Sam drops the thing, and you have to manage your This whole game is, I feel like Kojima sat down and like, what are some of the most annoying trends in gaming? I
wouldn't put it past him.
You have long fetch quests, you have long periods of walking, you have obtuse and intentionally frustrating movement mechanics, you have survival mechanics, like your boots have a durability meter, you have I already mentioned, but you have a lot of just like things that don't normally make for a fun experience, and he put them in there intentionally. And that's, a lot of people are going to find that grating, and they're going to think this game is boring and it's bad and it's wasting my time. But like, I don't know. I feel personally like just being kind of left to your own devices in like a really open and sparse world is kind of relaxing, Like for me with Red Dead, like there were people like, why can't I walk in the camp? I'm like, why can't I run in the camp? I'm like, why would you want to run in the camp? Just, take your time, soak in the sights and the sounds. Just but like, I'm the kind of guy when I get to like a Red Dead town, I don't like sprint. Like I walk, I soak it in. I live and exist in this world, and I try to do those kind of things,
I think part of the problem with games today, or not games, but the people that play the games, are they want to rush through the games. And there are a lot of games that have great atmosphere, great scenery, that people just don't want to take time to enjoy it, because in their mind, it's a game. I don't need to do this. And some of these games are amazing. They're breathtaking. They're like, wow, this looks really cool. How have I never seen this before? So that's part of the gaming culture that we have now. They don't care. They want to rush through stuff as fast as possible.
Yeah, I think gamers today, for the most part, they want instant gratification. And of course, I'm generalizing. Well, there's a lot of people that are not like that. Like, I'm one of those people who I'll play anything, no matter, like, it could literally just be walking without ending the story, and I'd still probably play it just to see what all that's about. But like, I feel like COD is a good example. Every year, people are like, Call of Duty is the same game. They still buy it. And they're like, I just wish I had something new and something innovative. And then, like, when they get it, it's, well, why is this way? Why are you doing this? Why aren't you adhering to
it's happening right now? Yeah.
With Modern Warfare, it's slower and it's different. It's like, well, this is, why did it just give us COD? It's not hard. But then last year, they're like, this is the same game. I want something new. It's just, I feel like we're still as a whole industry scared of innovation. And that's something we have to get past. I feel like I want more games like Death Stranding, where it's not just, I'm some dude, it's a third-person cover shooter, and I'm going to shoot a lot of people and like, as much as I love The Last of Us, it very much is stealth combat, cutscene, stealth combat, cutscene. Here's a clicker section, cutscene. It's, this is different, and I like different. I want more different, especially as we go into a brand new generation, and we have Stadia. They can do things we could have never done before, because we have the tech for it now. Like VR, I love VR because everything's so different. I want new things, and this is a new thing, and it's a new horizon, and I can't wait to jump in there.
I don't think that obviously this would happen if Sony was not footing the bill. I don't think we were. I don't think we would get the gameplay that we're getting right now.
No publisher in their right mind would fund this game.
They were like, nope.
It's just because you can put a Hideo Kojima game on the box and it'll sell millions.
And it will.
Yeah, they wrote a blank check for him. I guarantee. I'm really worried for the fallout of this game because one, it's a PlayStation exclusive, huge marketing budget. Got Norman Reedus as a main character. It's got Mads Mikkelsen in it. It's got all these high name actors. So come like holiday season, some people are going to see I've already seen the commercials roll on TV, and they're going to see Death Stranding, and they're going to see the cool visuals, and they're going to see that guy from The Walking Dead, and they're going to buy it and be like, this is going to be a cool, fun game. And then they're literally a FedEx delivery guy on foot for the first 10 hours of the game, and they're going to hate it. I feel like, yeah, this is like an art house game, but they're trying to market it like a real video, well, not a real video game, but like a traditional video game. And I don't feel like that's the audience you should be trying to attract. But
do you think we'll see Fallout like Fallout 76? People getting frustrated?
Oh,
I want my money back.
Not that bad.
I think we've already seen it. I think the 3 out of 10 score that I saw that's lower than most people gave 76. I think some people are calling this. I've seen people call it worse than 76. Like one of the worst games that we've seen in like years. But I think the fact that we've seen people call it game of the generation that speaks volumes.
And that's the whole thing. They're so polarizing. Like I saw one person say, Resident Evil 2 remake was my game of the year. And now they play Death Stranding. Nope. Death Stranding.
I'm scared because to me, earlier this year, I was thinking about this over the summer. I'm like, man, game of the year this year is really going to come down to, did you like Resident Evil 2 or did you like Devil May Cry 5? And that's going to be the whole GOTY discussion. Now that Death Stranding is here, and it's not, I was like, maybe Death Stranding, but it's just going to be good, Now that it's a wild card, I can't wait to see where we are in December.
Will it make the cutoff for game of the year?
Even if it wasn't, Keeley would do an exception.
No, that's not right. You shouldn't do that. Not do that.
Yeah, Keely's in the game. Well, yeah, it would look weird because he's in the game. I think it's any game released outside of December, so it'll make it.
Yeah.
Will it win? It'll win something.
It's going to win any kind of like innovation award, probably.
Yeah.
or narrative.
The soundtrack will get played in the orchestra or whatever.
They'll make up a new one.
Most Kojima game,
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see game of the year cutoff because I know
I'm pretty sure it's just December. That's the cutoff because the show's like the first week of December.
Yeah, I think it's.
Of course, any games that release in November and late November have a disadvantage. But I think because this is such a high-profile game and it's Kojima, people are gonna play it before they know it's gonna be a game of the year contender, so they're gonna get through it, even though it's like super long.
All these different days. All right,
it's around this time.
You said you wanted to say something about Red Dead Redemption 2. You said you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I was talking about how like people last year said Red Dead 2 wasted the player's time, and now we're seeing the same discussion with Death Stranding, and I feel like those are both just. I don't think you can say that about those games because yes, Red Dead 2, you have to clean your guns and you have to cook every piece of meat individually and you have to ride for 15 minutes doing nothing, just kind of looking at the trees and just kind of chilling with your horse and, feeding it and doing all these things. You have to cut Arthur's hair. Like Death Stranding is a lot of just walking across nothing, and people call that busy work. And like, yes, it is, but it's also core to the experience. Red Dead 2 would not be the game it is if you weren't just alone with Arthur riding all these times. And if you didn't have to clean your guns, if you didn't have to like cut Arthur's hair and bathe, that game would not be as great as it is. And I think Death Stranding, I think the busy work is the game in Death Stranding. That's the thing. And I don't think it's designed to be a fun video game. I think it's the antithesis of that. It's supposed to be bad, not bad, like by conventional means. Mechanically, it's supposed to be unsatisfying because the experience itself needs that to convey its message.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that. The whole conversation we said about our game's supposed to be fun, and that's a great question because when I play a game, I don't go into the thing saying this game is going to be fun. I'm going to because hey, this sounds interesting. This sounds like I'm going to enjoy myself.
I hate the word "fun" in games discussion, and I know it's just semantics, but like we don't say like, well, movies and books aren't necessarily fun, But like, I wish people would just say, "Is this game good?" Which we do, but like. People ask if it's fun. I don't think that's a question you can get away with asking anymore.
No,
games are so much more.
Yeah,
I think maybe like when it was only platformers and that was pretty much all the industry was. You could say,
yeah, just limitation at the time too. I mean, a lot of it was just like it's hard to get the kind of experience that you'll get from Death Stranding 10 years ago. Like
but even then, like 10 years ago, like Metal Gear Solid 2, I don't think that game is necessarily fun, but I love that game.
Yeah, I don't think they can be fun. Like I'll go back.
Even like Mario and stuff. I'm not really having fun when I'm playing Mario. Like that's that's not the word I would use to describe that, but they're compelling experiences.
Like I'll use Dark Souls by example because obviously when I play Dark Souls,
that's not fun.
It's not fun.
It's
the
compelling.
boss fights are
it's rewarding.
They're engaging. They're rewarding. Hey, I got my ass kicked by this guy 20 times and I finally beat him. And you're like, yes, I kicked that guy's ass.
I just wish we'd stop using the fun word. I just don't like that word anymore.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, you're right. I don't think fun should be the word.
Yeah, I just think Death Stranding is such an interesting case because it's a game that deliberately wastes the player's time and it deliberately frustrates you. Which a AAA game, no publisher would fund a game that does that. But because it's Kojima's name, he has free reign. He can do whatever he wants. I just wish it's kind of like when we're going back to Life is Strange. Square Enix wouldn't publish Life is Strange. Oh no, they do publish it. Who did they go to first that denied it? Oh, because they went to somebody and they were like, no, we can't. I think it was because they had a female protagonist, but one publisher, it's a pretty famous story where they would not publish Life is Strange. Publishers are very, very,
was it
very
Ubisoft?
It was somebody big.
I thought it was Ubisoft.
Yeah. Publishers are very, 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 very scared to lose money because games are super expensive and a super long time investment. They only tend to invest in the safest of the safe experiences. That's why so many games come out and are the same video game. Like you have Assassin's Creed and CODs and they're annual, but they're like they don't innovate much. I feel like Kojima is in such an interesting position because he has his name sells. It's not necessarily what's in the game; it's what's on the box. It's the name.
Yeah, his name is selling his game.
So I think this is like one of the first true instances that we have where somebody has had complete creative freedom.
Yeah,
to an unprecedented degree.
That always confused me. Why people are like so? There are a lot of people who are like shocked as to how monotonous this game is, or like how they just don't understand how there's not enough action or whatever. These kind of highbrow ideas have been in Kojima games for a while, just taking highly conceptual ideas or moments in narrative or just gameplay in general. And he's inserted them throughout the Metal Gear series, and some of his other older titles before he even started on Metal Gear had a lot of these ideas, but
I think even then in those games, even his old stuff like Snatcher, those games still have good, compelling gameplay.
Oh, Snatcher.
Yeah. In Metal Gear, you can skip all the cutscenes and still get a good game out of it. Death Stranding, unless you're in it for the story, you're literally just holding the forward on the left analog stick and maybe managing some meters and trying not to have the stuff fall off your back. That's the whole game. It's weird. It's weird. That's Stranding. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's literally just a delivery man video game.
It is the first of its kind, and I don't want to say if it becomes successful because I'm pretty sure
I think it already is.
Yeah. We could possibly see more developers.
But we haven't even talked about the social aspect of the game and the whole like system and building structures and things. Yeah. I don't know about the whole social strand game becoming a new genre. I don't know about that, Kojima.
Yeah,
but this is definitely nothing I've ever seen before in this industry, and I've seen a lot of video games.
Yeah.
And are you talking about the message system that people can leave behind?
Well, yeah, there's Dark Souls messages, but there's also the way very, very light spoilers for gameplay in Death Stranding. There's this thing called the chiral network, and you go and activate various regions of it. And once you activate these regions to get them on the grid, you can build things like roads and shelters and battery recharging stations. But if you're online, this game is like Journey. You need to play it online. Don't play it offline. Other players' structures will show up, other porters, other delivery men. Their stuff will show up, and it'll be this battery charging station was left by this person, and you can press a button to it, on social media. That's the whole allegory this game's trying to do. And I think that's a little more you have Dark Souls messages hey, watch out, there's an enemy camp up ahead or something like that. But then there's also yo, dude, this battery charger saved me. My things were running low on juice.
So you're saying you can leave it on social media, actual social media?
No. It's just you can it, leave a like. You can messages in Dark Souls. Yeah. It's more than messages. It's actual structures that you will use, safe houses and resource charging stations and things like that. And roads. Roads are huge in this game. But it's also really cool because some of the impressions I've heard are everybody's stuff kind of comes together. Kojima wasn't kidding when he said this is a social game, even though it's single player. You'll see infrastructure pop up that's not just you building it, but you'll see a road in progress. I'm gonna put a road tile down. I'm gonna contribute to this. Or man, I'm running out of battery juice here. I'm gonna build a battery charger, not just for me, but because I know other people get use out of it too.
Yeah.
It's a weird social meta game.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting too, just to take whichever path you want to choose and see if somebody else has gone there before and left a ladder behind for you. That's super cool. A lot of the reviews talk about how there are certain points in the game where people are so resource scarce. They don't have enough tools to make it across the way or whatever. And then they find that somebody left behind a ladder that goes across a river that's way more convenient than having to go through the tough waters. They lose all their stuff, whatever could happen. People have talked about how they're their boots or whatever. Like they're at the point where they're so desperate, like they got to make this delivery or whatever. They're so close, but their resources are so low that they're like struggling to get there. You know, like they're having like balance problems because their boots are you know, like falling apart or whatever. But then all of a sudden they figure out this dude left like a ladder behind that you can cross the river with, or there's a road now that they can use. Like it'll be cool to see, like, you know, people like experiencing that, like, oh man, I'm on the brink of death or whatever, like this is going to be so bad, and like in the last minute they come across, you know, this one person who is probably in the same situation, maybe doing a little bit better, is all of a sudden helping you indirectly. Like it'll be cool to see that. And like it's also like whether you decide to go a different way or whatever, if you want to challenge yourself, or if you just like want to take the road less traveled, like it'll be,
because you can build up that route and put your own stuff down.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's like the next evolution of the Dark Souls message system. Even though you can put like signs and stuff down in this game to communicate with other players. It's like it takes that idea and it really hammers home the social aspect of it. Like Kojima wasn't kidding when he's like, this whole message of this game is like, we're all connected and we're all helping each other in ways we don't even know yet. Because like that's what happens. You get the network online, and all of a sudden it's not barren. There are things popping up, and you help other people help you, and it's actually meaningful because this game is punishing. Like you go, there are long,
when it comes out,
long treks of you walking on nothing, right? But like your packages, like the rain can damage them. Like there are like the box itself has a damage meter, and the package inside is a separate damage meter. Your shoes can fall apart. There's like the terrain is different ratings. So like you press, I think it's the R1 button, and you scan, and like
can I throw the packages? I mean, you probably don't want
I'm not sure actually, but you do have to like stack that, like the Resident Evil inventory management kind of thing, but on a more vertical scale, because you have to stack the boxes to like balance yourself, and like you can have more things. You can like put him on his arms and things like that, but it'll slow you down, and you can't stop on a dime
and stuff.
Yeah, like it won't control like Metal Gear Solid 5 does, because Metal Gear Solid 5 controls like a dream. But if you're carrying a lot of boxes, there's momentum and there's weight. But like the landscape, you have to like scan it, and if it's yellow, it'll take some stamina. If it's red, like it's like a lot of stamina, and you'll fall and you'll lose your boxes. And if you lose them in a river, sorry, you kind of have to wait until they wash up somewhere. It's super, super punishing. But other people's structures come in and save the day, and I think that's really, really hammering home the social aspect.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting when it gets released.
I can't wait, because it's honestly everything I hear. It's like nothing I've ever heard of before. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
I want to see the public's reception of this
and as much like. Going back to the whole PC thing, I feel like waiting for PC might actually put people at a disservice, because I feel like the whole theme of this game is social connection, right? And like encountering other structures and things like that. And that's going to be on the PC. But I feel like the actual discussion around this game, like I like to be at games at launch, because the discourse and discussion, like on social media and like on podcasts and videos, everyone's talking about something. But I feel like for this game especially, that discourse is going to be super important. And like telling stories and all those things, like, oh man, this saved me, or did you see this part yet? Or did you find this, or what route did you take? I feel like that's like when Kojima said we're already playing the game, we kind of already are, you know. It's the social media discourse is part of the experience, and I feel like
how many of us here are going to be playing this game when it comes out?
To me,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
basically, PC, Keith, because you have your collection edition on pre-order, but I urge you to jump in just to try it out.
I'm not going to wait for the PC version. I'm going to double dip, obviously. Then again, I may not even get the PC version. I have to wait to see how the game runs on a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to wait to some unknown date in 2020 when this game comes out. Summer 2020. That could be September 2020.
Yeah,
that could be June 2020, July 2020, August 2020.
Yeah.
No idea when that is.
You got Red Dead 2 to wait, you know, in the meantime. That game's long. You can ride the horse for whenever. Ride the horse in the next coming months.
And that comes out Tuesday. I will be playing that.
I'm double dipping. Oh boy,
I'm playing that.
I cannot wait.
I'm going to be like, yep. I'm going to
mouse controls. You get to aim. You get to free aim and not have to lock on.
I'm going to compare how it looks between the Xbox One X version and the PC version.
I think the draw distance is going to be the biggest sign for PC, because it looks good on Xbox One X, but like
I think the texture is still going to be big.
Yeah, it uncompressed. It's man, it's going to look so good. I can't wait. But yeah, Death Stranding. That's another game I can't wait for. In the same week, Red Dead 2 on PC and Death Stranding. Wow.
I hope you guys got some money, because this is going to get very expensive.
Time.
Yeah, those are long games. Yeah. But also I want to talk about before we wrap up here. People are saying Death Stranding takes about 10 hours to get good, and then it brings up the discussion like if a game takes this many hours to get good, that's not a good game in the first place. I don't know, you know, because I feel like it goes back to the whole it's not good on purpose kind of thing, you know.
I think it's more of the experience. You're playing the game for the experience, and that's what it should be.
Because I think like if you don't like this game in the first 10 hours, it's just not for you. Because like I feel like from the get-go, you know what this game is. And I've heard people say that where they refute that whole point where it takes this many hours to get good. No, it's the same game still. It just like becomes less frustrating. But that's the frustration is the point, you know?
Yeah.
And I think saying it takes a certain amount of hours to like get going or really get good is a disservice.
We'll find out this Friday. We'll find out.
I can't wait. Plus the baby cries and stuff, and like you got to use the fucking DualShock 6X. Sorry to curse. I've never cursed on this show before, but we do it sometimes. I try to refrain from it for the brand, but
yeah,
you have to use the controller motion controls for the baby. Like, what is this game? I don't
think that's a.
Well, the thing is, like, I've heard people like developing a relationship with this baby and really connecting with it, and like almost like a parental kind of thing. And I can't wait. I love those kind of. Like, that's why I like Last Guardian, because you really bond with Trico over the course of that game. So I can't wait to see if I actually do bond with the Bridge baby. And if I like delivering packages and boxes across long stretches of nothing while Norman Reedus listens to his iPod, you know? Because that's this game, and I can't wait.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. That's all I got to say. All right, folks. Looks like we have reached the end of the show. Is there anything that you would like to say or forgot to say during the show that you want to say now?
This is a long show. We went for a while. I think we talked a lot.
I think it's because we're online. We're live.
Yeah.
Hour and 39 minutes. It's good. It's good. It's our first show. A little rough.
Good vibe on the show. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
This is hopefully going forward. Our next format. We are using StreamYard, which is a replacement to Google Hangouts, which is going offline very soon. I will be talking to developers to try and make this a little better, but I like it so far.
Yeah. Plus, for anybody watching right now, I feel like we're going to be using this Mixer channel a lot more more so than just podcasts.
Yeah, we're formulating some things, peoples. We do want to get verified here on Mixer. We had some discussion if we should stay here, but yeah, I think we're going to stay here.
Yeah, Mixer's great. Great platform. Talk about video games.
That's it. Yeah, next week we've got Need for Speed Heat. We've got Red Dead Redemption 2.
Are we all playing Need for Speed? All three of us?
I will be anyway.
I am
too. Okay, good. I love when we all play a game. Do we know if Carl's gonna be playing it?
No idea.
But yeah, we're gonna play that, and I know I'll have Death Stranding impressions.
I'll be playing. So
I'm gonna start at midnight, and I'm gonna be playing till the show goes live. Honestly,
I took off Friday. See, I don't know if I'm gonna be playing Red Dead or Death Stranding. I've not played Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know. Maybe I'll do half Red Dead and half Death Stranding.
If I can pull Death Stranding for sure, because that's going to be the big topic.
If I can pull myself away from Destiny 2.
Yeah, that's at the end of the day, man. I got to make time for all these games, but you know the grind. Gotta get my light level up.
Yeah.
Hey,
my dailies.
I'm 960. I'll run you guys do anything. I'm
already at like 945 now.
I've got all put these games in my backlog, man, and I'm here like, but I could be playing Modern Warfare right now.
The thing that sucks about Destiny 2 is once you hit 950, nothing helps you. You have to get only thing that helps you are pinnacle weapons, pinnacle gear, and that hurts. And your light gear, your light level goes up also with your artifact, but once the season's over, that drops. And I think right now it's at 12. So when it resets, I'm back down to 950. That's gonna hurt.
But at least having that boost helps you get higher gear, you know?
Yeah.
Because it still counts you as a higher light.
But you still gotta do the raids. Or I mean, you guys
you gotta do the raid, and pinnacle weapons drop from like Nightfalls too, I think, right? From like completed the Nightfall. One of the weeklies gives you a pinnacle weapon. You have
to do the heroic Nightfall.
Yeah. But like at that light level, you're ready.
Is that 920 or is that like 950 though?
950, I think.
950. Yeah, 50. And it's not matchmaking. You have to actually.
So that's like the only activity I think that gives you pinnacle gear, right?
Yeah. Well, that one in the dungeon will give you pinnacle gear.
Yeah, and the raid, obviously, right?
Yeah. I want to do that new dungeon so bad too. You guys got to get up there.
What's the player count for dungeons?
What's that?
What's the player count for dungeons? How many do you need?
3.
Okay, then we can do that.
Oh, sweet.
Josh is finally playing again. He hasn't played this game in a minute. I'm like, hey, Josh is back. Wow. I wonder what he's grinding.
He's playing it right now.
yeah. I might have to.
If their whole Discord is just everybody Destiny 2, Destiny 2, Destiny 2.
I think I'm gonna go back and just do my bounties because I have not.
When's our version of the Fire Team chat starting?
Hey, you play enough, we can totally do that. Speaking of that,
Tower Cast or something.
There's an idea for our listeners. Do you think we should start up a Discord channel for this in the Outerhaven, or we were throwing that around? We're not sure if we want to do that. Well,
Oh yeah,
it's the thing. Let us know what you think. That said, let's go ahead and get the thing closed because it is an hour and 43 minutes. Holy crap!
One of our longer shows.
Yeehaw.
Yes. So as always, you can find us on Google Podcasts, iTunes Podcasts. On iTunes, definitely leave a rating. It'll help us. Definitely. Spotify, Audio Boom, and wherever podcasts are. And also on YouTube now, because this is going on YouTube once it is done encoding. So from Diego and Rob and myself, thank you for watching the first episode of Spectator Mode on Mixer.com, and many, many more coming in the near future. Thank you for watching, and have some fun, play some games. Take care.